Hi, this is Megan Morris, occupational therapist with the Regent Park CHC Early On Center. I have here with me today my toileting model, Lucy, and we're going to talk about how do you set up the environment for toilet training. So regardless if your child is ready to remove the diapers and is just sitting on the toilet, or whether you're going to practice sitting on the toilet, I think this is a really good place to start. I think there's a few pieces of equipment that every family should consider getting before starting. Sorry, Lucy, we're going to put you to the side. Footstools, here. And there are a lot of different types of footstools you can get, depending on the height that you're looking for, and depending on the size of your bathroom, because I know we are all dealing with some smaller spaces these days. I'm also going to talk about ring reducers, and I don't have any here with me today. I made one out of cardboard just to show you as an example, but I'll go to the store later and show you some different options that are available there. Okay, so we have Lucy here. I chose the white footstool because it gave her feet a nice supported spot. It also has a nice platform for her to stand up on. If you have a stool that has a small platform, it's hard for kids to pull up and down their pants without feeling like they're gonna fall off. So having a nice, little bit of a bigger base is quite helpful so that kids can stand up and down on them. In fact, I would probably move this out just a little bit so that there's a bit more space. I've also put the ring reducer in the middle here. You can sort of see my cardboard. Without a ring reducer, some kids may fall into the toilet hole, and that can be very scary. And once that happens I do find for a lot of children, it can be something they never want to have happen again, so the toilet might be avoided. And so what happens with the ring reducer is it just helps to make that hole a little bit smaller. There is one more thing that I often recommend, and that's a visual schedule. Now, a visual schedule is the steps of all of the actions we're going to take for toileting, and having them lined out keeps everybody on task for what's going to happen next. So first we pull down the pants, and then we sit down and potty. Now, this step might look different depending on where your child's at. So if you're just learning how to sit on the toilet, it might be we're going to sit down and sing a song, or we're going to sit down and read a book. Or if your child is ready for going pee or poo in the toilet, then they will sit down and pee or poo to potty. Then we wipe, then we pull up our pants, and if your child has a diaper, you pull up the diaper and then the pants. Flush the toilet, wash the hands, and then you're all done. Now, for some kids, it's going to be too much to see all of the steps at once. So what you can do for those kids, and generally you'll know that it's too much if you can't catch their attention and their eyes won't look at the visual provided. So I cover everything else up, and that lets us do one step at a time. So we pull down the pants, and then we're going to sit down. All done. Okay, and then you can keep going that way, and it just allows you to really quickly remove one at a time. You can also be blocking the ones above if that's helpful, but usually kids are okay with the steps that are completed. So what do you do if you don't have fancy laminated visuals? I really just use Post-its. Visuals are just a picture representation, and the more you use it repetitively, the more your child's going to understand, oh, this is what this picture means. So as long as you're pairing the action with a picture, and you're doing it over and over and over, kids will start to know that they go together. So if you don't have fancy laminated pictures, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you can't use visuals. I just drew here on a Post-it, pants down, and I always use the words with the picture. And then that helps to give me a cue. Sit, pee or poo in toilet, wipe, flush, pants up, and then for this one I put on the door. Wash hands, because you always wash your hands before you leave, and goodbye. So just don't feel like you have to have a lot of fancy materials. You really just need a footstool, something comfortable to show the child where to sit on the toilet seat, maybe how to hold the sides of the toilet seat so they feel comfortable and don't fall down, and some sort of a visual cue to show what comes next.
When you go to the store, you'll find that there are lots of different ring reducers. Some are squishy, some have characters and might be more motivating for your kid to sit on. And some are very hard and plasticky, which can be wiggly when you stick it on the toilet. So just make sure that it's a nice firm connection with the toilet seat. They also have a lift so that the pee doesn't go everywhere. So find one that your kid will like. The last thing that you can use is a potty, and potties can go from the floor right onto the toilet. So that's another option that you can